Alright, so now we can actually hear things. Life is good. Let's see. So what do I have in my inventory? I've got some food, I've got a torch. Put away the torch. I don't know if I actually need them that much, but still. So I'm just gonna plow forward. We're gonna go fast. We're gonna get the sleds. So unfortunately, until Gani and Jin are actually done making stuff, I'm pretty much stuck here. I mean, I'm not that stuck here, but I can't really progress in the new area until I actually get better tools. Because, yeah, it's straight up going to be like, you can't shoot that deer because it is too powerful for your arrows. And it's like, what? I don't really like that, but it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so we're just gonna plow forward. Hope they finish those tools fairly quickly and we can move on. I guess worst comes to worst, I could just sit around doing nothing for some amount of time, but that's boring. So is this on survival or exploration? I switched it up to survival. Originally I had started on exploration, but I eventually kind of like convinced myself that survival would somehow be more interesting. And ultimately, it's the same game, it's just one has like a weird progression system and the other just kind of doesn't. So yeah, goal here is we want to grab the last couple gathering points in the area. And then I might sit down and actually go looking for all that loot that I missed. Because there's a fair bit of loot all over the place here that I just never grabbed. Yeah, minus the non-infinite lives. Yeah, so far, I haven't died once. I might die. Something will probably kill me. A couple of times as we get further in, the enemies get a little nastier. My equipment might be a bit shoddier. I'm going to try and be particularly thorough about keeping that up to date. But we'll see. Okay, so I think we're where we need to be. So we also have a mining point over there on the right, and then a mining point up there. Okay.
Cut them down. Destroy the resistance.
So I might as well respond some.
Downfall.
Oh! You son of a butt! That's so stupid! Okay. So, the moment I enter town with the dog sled... Okay. Why does it work that way? Who designed this and thought it was a good plan? That's real stupid. Okay, so I should probably explain what the heck's going on. So, when we drove the sled into town, the dog sled just instantly disappeared. And I was like, okay. And I tried to, like, track it down and figure out, okay, where'd the dog sled go? Because there's items into that inventory that, you know, I need to deposit. And, you know, get rid of him, whatever, because I, you know, need to clear that inventory out. But the moment you enter town, it just disappears, so I'm like, okay, maybe it just automatically deposited everything in there or something. But no. Oh. Let's see. But no, the sled just disappears into the ether in town, and I'm gonna have to, like, hunt down where it is in there, or, like, park it outside just so I can empty the inventory from it. That's really weird and awkward. I'm not sure if I like that. Okay, so I should probably respond to something in chat, seeing as it's come up, and I figure an exploration and explanation is probably warranted given the situation. So I've noticed a lot of people over the past couple of years starting to use, like, I guess I'm gonna say it's more like not high tier emotes, like instead of just the colon, smiley face, they might do like UWU again as kind of like a face. And it actually works pretty well. And at first, like, I was just like, oh, I mean, it's fine, it's internet stuff. I'm more or less used to that, and I don't really care that much. But recently, it's become, like, more prevalent, and a couple of people started, like, only speaking like that, or intentionally, like, overusing it to be annoying. And now at this point, whenever I see anybody do the, like, UWU, I hear it in my head. When I'm reading something, usually I just, like, skim straight past it. But that one specifically has, like, a really annoying noise mentally attached to me. And, like, the way I think about things. And I realize this is a me problem. But when people start getting overboard with it, it actually does drive me up the walls. Because, like, yeah, it's... I don't know, I can't not hear it when I see it, and it's like, you know, internet, please stop. I don't want to. That's like. I was having the same problem with the "Do you know the way" memes for a while, like that. That would actually like mess with me in a different for a different reason. That would actually get stuck in my head and make me start talking by like Ugandan knuckles, which like I have to try very hard not to do because it's incredibly racist. I mean, it's, like, funny and generally not offensive, or at least, like, I haven't heard a whole lot of people get, like, terribly offended over it, but it is still, like, a meme-based relatively in racism and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, I kind of want to avoid that sort of thing. But whenever I see Ugandan knuckles, whenever I, like, hear any of those memes, it just gets stuck in my head, and I have to, like, intentionally not talk like that, which is obnoxious. Wait, it's racist? I mean, it's making fun of an accent, so yeah. I mean, I realize that's super light racism, but it's still... Yep. They just wink out of existence. Now we gotta go find them. But, like, I'm not gonna, like, immediately start, like, decrying anybody that really likes that sort of thing. Honestly, I watched way too many Ugandan Knuckles meme videos myself. Because, like... You kind of can't help it, because that's how it works. Okay, how do I clear stuff out of the dog? Do I really have to park the dog sled outside of town to clear the inventory out? Is there no better way of doing that? I gotta look this up. There's gotta be a better way to move this stuff out. Because I like the sled storage, but... How do I store... How do I get rid of anything from there? Do I really have to manually do that? Does anybody know? Has anybody played enough of this to tell me that there's some kind of mechanic that improves that, or do I manually have to clear everything out of the
what did you get up to while I was gone?
dog sled before I even get remotely close to town? Because the alternative, because yeah, it's this box. This is dumb. At least I can stash it to the refuge, but, like, I was really hoping this would be a really quick way of clearing everything out so I wouldn't have to, manage inventory too much. You know, I just do a quick run-by, drop everything that I need, and then go back out in the field with minimal, like, time spent managing inventory. This is not even the interesting kind of managing inventory. Like, I like Diablo-style managing inventory. Maybe we need to get off them before the bridge. I mean, yeah, pretty much that's what I'm gonna have to do. It's not so bad, but, like, you feel like just driving the dog sled in here, you could just press a button and be like, deposit everything from dog sled inventory. Guess not. Alright, whatever. But yeah, so, to go back to the meme thing, I think in general, actually, I will go out of my way to try and keep that stuff from, like, becoming too prevalent in my chats, in my Discord, in my streams, in my YouTube comment sections. And I realize I'm gonna invite more just by talking about this sort of thing. It's like whenever I talk about Avengers Endgame, immediately somebody shows up to talk about how Thanos has a sexy dance with Thor at the end of the movie. And everybody, like, kisses and makes up, quite literally. And, like, I get that, like, you know... I get that, like, people want to, like, go overboard spoiling things. But, like... I don't know, I guess I've never really understood the sense of pleasure from, like, just spoiling a movie or a game for somebody that doesn't want to, you know, have anything spoiled for them. I'd much prefer to just come up with, like, wild, insane shit that absolutely didn't happen. Because then there's no guilt, and you can run with that joke as far and as long as you want. And there is no... I'm not gonna say repercussions, there absolutely kind of are. But, like, I am not an asshole for revealing Thanos sexy dancing with Thor. Like, that is pure. And I will fight anybody that disagrees with me on that one. But, like, you know, actual spoilers, the things that matter, yeah, that shit's not cool, and that really bugs me that people will go out of their way for it. And I don't know, it's juvenile, but it pisses me off when I see it. And yeah, anytime I talk about it, I get inundated with them and I have to ban, like, small dozen number of people, small dozen folks from my YouTube channel or Twitch or something like that. I'm not, there we go. Okay. Go back. Well, not let's go back. Let's keep going. I want to get all that loot while we wait for them to make stuff. They might have actually finished with what I need. I guess let's clear out as much as we can first as well. I wonder if I can actually manage my characters from a distance. Because that would be nice. Okay, so I think this is the area. Yeah. I have not grabbed anything from this zone. I probably should. See, the only meme I found funny was don't watch Endgame, it'll spoil the Endgame. Yeah, I know there's a number of people that have wrote tweets like, saw Endgame, it was full of spoilers. Like, that was a good meme. There are definitely good memes, and some memes can be driven into the ground and they'll still be funny years later. But most of them get really boring forever. I mean, like, I've had some in-house memes that honestly weren't even that good, that have just been taken too far. To the point where, like, they are just meaningless noise for me at this point. That's always a bit of a shame. Because it takes what might have actually been an incredibly funny joke, and overdoes it to the point where it's like, well, now I just don't want to hear it anymore. Oh, right. I was up here with Gina, but I think we immediately got hit by a blizzard, and then my inventory was full, and I just bailed on this area. There was not much there. Probably for the best. Let's see. Oh, I wonder if that leather satchel is done. That would be nice. Because any amount of extra inventory space I can grab can make a nice big difference there. What is that glowing up in the sky? Oh, god damn it. Is that one of the... Is that the bag from one of the corrupted things up there? It is. I'm not honestly sure if I'm going to be able to get up there. Well, let's go grab my, I still don't know what that glowing loop is in the sky. I'm really curious about that. if I check the map, yeah, all of these loot locations have cleared out. It's nice. Let's say, am I liking the wolf sled? It makes things better. I don't like the inventory management with the wolf sled. I find that to be kind of... Originally, I was super excited for it because I'd be able to store more. And then I realized it was garbage. I guess it would actually be useful for storing more limited use resources, like supplies, food and torches and stuff. Yeah, how's the game so far? Zen. It reminds me of kind of the rough state of Fallout 76 or like Fallout 4 and a couple other things. There we go. So you can flip the sled. Don't leave without me.
Move on.
Admittedly, we're immediately going to flip the sled again. Thank you, Verisok, for the 500 bits. Oop. I do appreciate that they did go with the sled. Even if it's glitchy and bad, it's kind of neat all the same. I mean, it really reminds me of trying to make pod racers in,
Catching a deer. Go ahead. Your time.
It really does remind me of... Oh. Pretty sure I already have that, though. Yeah, we're just in the hunting area. Let's see. Brain. But yeah, trying to use the sled in this game, very, very similar, at least as far as I'm concerned, to trying to make pod racers in Scrap Mechanic. Bad and incredibly clunky. It does let you travel faster in these, and they follow trails automatically. And they had the foresight to make it easier to reset. Oh yeah, no, they definitely saw their shortcomings a mile away, and at least managed to deal with some of them. So, while it might not actually run that well, it's at least not nearly as punishing as it could have been. The green beacon. It's over there. What the? Wow. It does not like trees. At all.
Line out.
Okay. So it actually looks like we've got something on the other side of... or just up the creek. I should grab that real quick. Let's see, I thought this was a horror game. No, it's just kind of depressing. But no horror. We have Casper the Demoralizing Ghost.
Let's go.
We have a world that's, like, mostly dead, but not entirely. Honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna leave him right here. Let's just grab this stuff on foot. Looks like most of it's up there, but there's a little bit down here. Oh, right. This is the stuff that I missed earlier. I was wondering about that. Okay. But no, I almost never play horror games. I find them to be generally pretty boring. You know, almost none of them actually have good mechanics. Most of them are just time-consuming and slow. You can't fight back. You're usually constrained to kind of uninteresting environments that are like halfway akin to mazes, usually filled with like a monster or two to actually make you feel hunted, but without any actual, I guess, tools to kind of respond to it. Usually you just run around, maybe hide, and even then the hiding feels kind of unsatisfying. After Dead Space, and to a lesser degree Prey, I've just never been terribly interested in horror games. BioShock as well. So Dead Space is not horror to you.
Mush. Speed up.
Dead Space I have trouble with as a horror game, just because it's not particularly horrifying for me. It's a tension game, I guess would be the proper word. No, it is a horror game. It just stands in a class on its own. That, like, I can easily... Oh, it's up there. Okay. I can easily play Dead Space for, like, hours and feel like I had fun. Oh, Eldritch Essence in a tree. How about that? I can play Dead Space on end for hours, and I will feel the tension, I will feel the horror, but I won't... I don't hate it. I don't find myself bored by the end of it. And, like, most modern horror games are just kind of boring by comparison. You know, I bring up Prey as one of the only exceptions I can think of, because Prey is damn good. And, like, I really enjoyed playing it, but there's some spooky bits here and there. I find the ability to fight back and having it not work scarier than being constrained and running and hiding. Yeah, or having it work, but work poorly. Like, I would much rather be able to fight back, but have it be, like, difficult or punishing. Resident Evil 7, actually, is a I ran over my wolf. I actually did run over one of my wolves. Okay, there, it's back. That's good. But Resident Evil 7 had, you know, all of the kind of classic bits. It did have jump scares. It did have a fair bit of, like, cheesy bits here and there. But it was still a really well-made game with really interesting mechanics and the like. And, like, especially early on, you had no tools to fight against the dad. And even when you did have the tools to fight against him, it was temporary. All that you could do is slow him down. To stop him for maybe a little bit before, you know, he'd get right back up again and come after you. Oh, we got pretty cold there. I'll have to spend some time in this area. We might warp back. I should also get some of my HP back too. But like the father was such a spooky dude. Because he wasn't that strong, but he was relentless and he'd come crashing out of walls and stuff. And that felt really good. Because you knew he was coming, but you didn't know where he was coming from, and you didn't know how it was going to work. Most modern jump scares, it's just quiet, 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 and then suddenly monster, and you're like, okay. I mean, I am scared, but that wasn't scary. That was, it was just there to, it was just there to make your adrenaline spike. And I think the thing is, for a horror game, the best way to do it is actually to actually really keep you low-level scared the entire time, and then have the occasional spook that really gets you going. Most horror games nowadays, it's kind of just like, they try and do that, but they don't really do the low-level scared. Most of the time you're walking around kind of bored, just waiting for that adrenaline spike to come. How would I, how do I go with this? Okay, so with Dead Space, you know shit's coming. Half the time you even see it coming. But the ambiance, the writing, the everything kind of combines into making this interesting experience that, like, you're kind of legitimately concerned about everything. I was playing Outlast, and I knew that there were dudes in the area that were going to jump out at me, hunt me down, you know, try and murder me and stuff. But, like, half the time I'm sitting around being like, ooh, spooky asylum, goody. Where's the enemy gonna pop out? I don't know yet. Oh, now he's coming. And, you know, maybe that initial bit where he shows up, I'm like, oh, shit. But then after that, you're like, oh. Now I just have to run away from him. Whereas Prey Prey was, yeah, Prey was like, anything could be a mimic. That definitely helps. I would say also with Prey, you heard them talking, and you could hear them, you could hear what they were saying, and it was unnerving. You know, rarely in these games do you ever actually hear your foe. Most of the time, they're just kind of this nameless, faceless thing that you fight and maybe kill. Rarely do you actually, like, hear them speak, talk to them, or even know anything about them. They're just the monster. Like, actually, that's a good example for this game. We just have these monsters out in the field. And they're supposed to be these, like, kind of Eldritch horror-y things, but, like, in Prey, they had names half the time.
Wrap yourself in my white blanket. Say goodnight.
Son of a butt, I totally forgot to warm up. But then again, blizzard time, so I should probably go back anyway. But yeah, like, an enemy was interesting in Prey, even if it was generic after a while. And like, half the time, some of the enemies actually really were... like, they were just, like, basic phantoms. There was nothing fancy about them. But every once in a while, you run into one that had a name. And it might even be a name that you recognize. It might have even been one of the people that you were looking for. Because one of the brilliant things that Prey did, that I liked, was it actually had a giant list of where every single person was. And who was alive and who was dead. And vaguely where you could find them. And I thought that was such a compelling system that I actually went out of my way to find everybody. Unfortunately, it was glitched, and I was like 3 to 5 short in the end. Okay, so we want to warm up considerably. Let's just do 6 hours. I probably should have warped back. Let's do that real quick. Because we have some tools that I should probably go grab. And so, let's go back to the monsters thing. So for this game, all of the monsters you run into are just rippers, are stalkers, are spitters. Sorry, I'm shifting my chair a little bit. I'm gonna be closer to the mic. And there's nothing particularly compelling about most of the enemies apart from the fact that they exist. She is just not working? Oh no, she's working on the leather satchel. Good God, they take forever. So I need fur. Oh. Okay, now she's working on that. But somebody's trust in me has increased, so I guess we might as well go deal with that. It really feels like these take way too long. But that's okay. What is going on here?
My family, they believed in many things. Believed in meditation, in the burning of the dead. I could not see reason in it. Couldn't there be another way? But without belief, I concealed my doubt, hid my true thoughts. I was the one with all the answers, the favorite son, and the eldest with all the privileges. The others, they questioned, received answers. Some were satisfied, others not. But they were true. I was false. This burden. When I was very young, I did ask once, is there another way? Is burning the only answer to death? Only to receive a pat on the head. Confirmation I had understood the correct path. Now that all my family are dead, I find I must believe. I must continue to hope. What else can I live for?
So,
Hi, Dad.
why was she just sitting there listening to that? Immediately just finishes like, "Hi, Dad!" And it's like, hi. Did I be hearing this? Okay, so we've got a leather satchel. Is this the forge then? Did we finish that off? Looks like we did. I'm supposed to craft in here. Because that's sitting down. That's opening the stash. There we go. Okay, so we do not have a character with adept metalworking at all. So we can't do that even if we wanted to. Bit of a pain in the ass. So I gotta go find somebody and rescue them. Where's that leather satchel? Okay. Let's check my inventory. Is this a backpack? No, it is not. So I still can't make a backpack in this game.
On your own, you have to be careful. You know? I don't like waste or excess. When I'm hungry, I make myself eat. And I never eat until I'm full.
Okay, so it's gonna take a while for her to get the hunting bow. We need to go find a new person before I can actually make any new tools. That's awkward. Alright, whatever. Let's see. We should probably eat some food. I should probably go stock up on some more food. Anyway, so I was gonna talk about this. So we just learned Jin kind of go through the... We just heard Jin go through this, like, long, like... You know, how do I live? Or... Honestly, I actually kind of tuned him out. You know, he's this guy very clearly struggling with the loss of his family and stuff like that. Always have you guys processing tainted remains and tainted wood. I would do that, but I actually need those resources, those tools. I need the hunting bow to actually unlock new hunting spots. And I need the weapons so I can actually start... Well, I need the weapons. I need the tools to start mining. I need the weapons to actually fight things better. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I was going to talk about the survivors in this game. And compare it to Zanki Zero, which is a completely different type of game, sort of. But they're both set in a very, like, post-apocalyptic type of universe. And everything's dreary and shit in both of them. Like, you know, this game, everything's super snowy and, like, nobody's happy. I should probably get him working on the palisade wall. Okay. So we want to head this direction. Yeah, okay, I'm going the right way. But I find drawn to this game maybe for the survival mechanics. Those are definitively done better, as far as I'm concerned. But the characters in this game aren't doing it for me. Whereas comparatively in, like, Zanki Zero, admittedly, they're kind of weird and, like, a little tropey at times, but they feel so much more vibrant. I think part of it is a bunch of characters that are not immediately just put down by the circumstances they're put in. I find myself generally drawn to that sort of thing. That it's like, yeah, I know things are shit, but, like, I'm still going to put on a brave face and, you know, try and get through this instead of just being super mopesy. And it feels like a lot of the workers in this game, a lot of the people you can recruit in this game, like, they're just sad for the sake of being sad. And I only ever learn about how sad they are. And how they've, like, lost faith. And it bothers me a little bit, because I feel like there's so much potential for writing these. You don't like Casper the Depressing Ghost? No, Casper the Depressing Ghost is literally the only character that I like in this game. Because he's unique. How often do you have, like, a classic Cortana-type character that is actively trying to demoralize you? they're honestly pretty much have never heard of games doing that. At least not to this extent. There we go.
Lights and signs. Reflections of your deranged mind. Ignore them.
Yeah, my one grump with Casper the demoralizing ghost here is that Casper himself very rarely changes, not his tune, but he almost never says anything different. He just has like a preset number of lines where he's just like, ooga booga booga booga, and you're like, yep, cool. And then that's it. There's not much left on this map. There's like a little bit scattered around here, and then we're done. Which is good, because I kind of want to make some progress. Actually, at this point, we don't really have anything to wait for. The only thing kind of holding me back is... Oh. There's actually a blizzard over there, not here. I guess it makes sense. Let's see. But yeah, I was waiting to try and get the new tools, but seeing as I can't make any new tools until we get a new person, I should actually head for the next zone. If I remember right, the dogs have just... Nope. I was kind of hoping we'd have an invisible dog sled there for a bit, but didn't work. Oh, blizzard's hitting me. I guess I might as well head to the base instead of trying to push on like this.
Ready yourself for burial. My storm approaches swift.
I tried the sleds next to the tower yet. Yeah, they just reset where the dog location is. Let's see. So let's go to the refuge. I'm just gonna plonk down structures, probably. Because until we can actually get some more tools, there's not much I can do there. Okay, so we've got the crafting shack, we've got the woodcarver's corner, sledding kettle. Medicine hut isn't being worked on yet. Do I have a butcher's corner? No, I do not. It really bugs me that I'm probably not going to be able to fit anything in there. We already have a forge. We have no copper nails. Okay. Well, we need the butcher's corner. Unless I'm wildly mistaken here. I guess I'll just get it down there and then we'll work on the other stuff. The worker has been assigned. Which worker?